I'm about to share 12 habits that you absolutely need to ditch for a healthier, happier you, especially if you're over 50 like me. Hi, I'm Anneli. Welcome. In this video, you'll discover surprising habits that may be holding you back from feeling your best. By the end, I'll share my free checklist to help you kick these habits to the curb and take action today. These habits are worth repeating. Number one is stop overcommitting to others. If you're like me, you probably say yes to everything and put yourself last. And this is absolutely something that we need to get rid of when we're over 50. We don't have the time to let ourselves be last place all the time. I know that this has been a terrible habit of mine, and it's still something I struggle with. I will say yes and people please and do things for others, everyone in my family, to the point where my husband actually has to tell me to stop. Why? You don't need to do this for me. I can do this myself. Somehow, over the years when I was young, it was ingrained in me, and I now struggle with it still, but I am making progress. I am not as bad as I used to be, but definitely, if you learn to prioritize yourself a bit more, say no sometimes, you can then look after yourself and be a better version of yourself. Number two is stop comparing yourself to others. Gosh, this is even harder now with the social media. I literally have to delete and unfollow people because all I do is think like, oh my gosh, why can't I be like her? Why can't I do that thing like them? It's ridiculous. Like, I just have to say to myself, stop it. You have to put a stop to that kind of comparison, because I have said this before in previous videos, we don't know what goes on behind those doors, and that presentation that they give us may be not at all accurate, and we're trying to achieve something and compare ourselves to something that isn't even real. So definitely when you do that, you start to feel a little bit better about yourself, and it may be slow going, but it does eventually help you to have the confidence in yourself. It's not like you don't notice people and notice things and aren't appreciative of them. Of course you are. But don't compare yourself and think you're lacking because of that. Number three is stop holding on to toxic relationships. That can be family, friends, even co-workers, all kinds of things. Because all they do is put all that negativity into your life. Even if you don't realize it, it's something that just keeps eating away at you. And this is so hard, especially if it's family. I have struggled with this. And you don't have to say goodbye to them forever, but you just have to put them at a distance so that you don't have the everyday or the constant communication maybe that you once did. It gives you a little bit more space and ability to not feel that anxiety and stress that you do when you deal with them. This can feel so impossible to do when you're in the midst of it. No matter who it is, it can be the hardest thing in your life, and it almost seems like it's too hard to do that. I'd rather deal with them. But when you actually are able to separate yourself a little bit, you find that it gives you a little bit of more peace, and it gets a little bit easier. Number four is something that not everybody has a problem with. I don't know if I have a problem with it, but it's something that's on my mind, and it's probably more to do with time. Stop holding on to outdated beliefs on aging. For me, how that presents itself is more about the time we have left. So that bothers me because I still feel very young. I still feel like I'm the kid that moved to Canada more than 50 years ago. Even though mentally we may be young, but we still have these things that we believe that happen with age. I was just listening to a book that I rented from the library. The characters in the book are talking about their elderly mother. She was just barely over 60. I'm going to be 60 in 2 days. And I took offense to that. I'm not elderly. I feel very young. And sometimes my husband has said jokingly, oh, something like, oh, with old age, or I'm getting too old for this. Oh, and I know he's joking, but it bothers me because I see people, that's what they believe. I see patients that say that, says, well, I guess it's understandable at the age I'm at. And no, don't believe those old beliefs about aging. We are only as old as we think we are. So don't think that you're old, because that will actually impact your physical being. I think this is one of those cases that when you can do that positive self-talk, it actually can be helpful. So change that thing that you say or think that I'm too old for this, or I'm getting old. Change it to something else. I feel very young and healthy. I feel good about doing this. Anyways, change whatever you're thinking to something that's the opposite, because I think it really will make an impact on you. Number 5 is stop all or nothing thinking about health. This is another one that a lot of people may relate more to dieting. It's all or nothing. I got to go on the strict diet, and so help me if I have that cake or piece of cupcake, that's all done. Now I'm going to just eat whatever I want. What's the point? Don't think about health as all or nothing, because it's all the little steps that you make that actually make a bigger impact over the long term. So who cares if you did something, you didn't feel good about, but as long as you're progressing and staying more on your path to health, whatever that looks like, then you're making progress. Unless there is a caveat to that. If you've been told you have something that you have to make changes right now, then those are the times where you really need to go all in to see progress. Little bits here and there isn't going to be beneficial, and you'll lose hope. So those are times when you do need to get all in and go for it as hard as you can. But on a regular, everyday basis, don't give up if you fall off the turnip truck. I'll leave that one alone. So number 6 is stop neglecting your mental health. This isn't about if you have a mental illness. This isn't anything like that. This is just about your everyday mental health. You need to take a breather. You need to try to stay calm. You don't want the stress levels to be super high all the time. Stress is good. Stress is what keeps us going. Stress is what motivates us. Stress is what gets us up out of bed in the morning. But if you have chronic, constant high stress, that's not good for you. You need to look after your mental health, whatever way that is. I have a colleague at work that started doing relaxing type of yoga, hot yoga. It's not like these crazy workout ones, but she is doing so well. She's been at it for a year. You can see the physical changes, the mental changes in her. She loves it. So whatever your thing is, do that for your mental health. And sometimes it may require speaking to somebody like a paid professional, and that's okay. Do it if you can afford it, or find a service. Sometimes communities like here where I live, they do have some community mental health services that provide with a very nominal fee or no fee at all for so many sessions. This next one is stop avoiding physical movement, because sometimes people are sick. I talk to a lot of people that have real difficulties either with their gait, they have mobility issues, they've had really acute illnesses. The thing is, you can still move some part of your body. Maybe your legs aren't working because you're still waiting for knee surgery. Move the part of your body that you can move, because you want to keep some muscle in the areas that you can. The lack of use atrophies it all, and you just begin to waste away, and then it's a domino effect. You have more difficulties with other things. Your balance goes off, everything like that. So whatever part of your body, if it's your arms, your legs, your toes, your fingers, you can move them, because there's no better time than now to do that. Stop procrastinating on health goals. Don't wait until that moment. Well, when we're back from vacation, I'm going to start my diet. When I'm back from my trip, I'm going to start working out every day. No, why not start doing it right away? When you're on vacation, doesn't mean you don't stop having fun, but think about it and say, well, maybe I won't have all that dessert tonight. Maybe I'll save it and have dessert every other night. Or maybe I won't have all that wine, no wine at lunch. Maybe I'll have it at dinner. There's no time like the present, because we only have a finite amount of time. So get going on them now. Don't procrastinate. There's always going to be a better time to do something. Always. And I'm looking forward to a trip we're doing soon to Portugal. And I'm still working on my health goals, but I know we're going to be doing a lot of walking. Even though I won't be sticking to any particular regime, I'm still going to know that I want to be healthy. So in my mind, I will probably make better decisions than if I just didn't even have that goal set for myself. Stop negative self-talk. This is just like the one that when you're saying that you're so old, I'm so old, I can't do this. Stop telling yourself you're not good enough. Stop telling yourself, you're not healthy enough. Stop telling yourself, well, this is it. I'm 60 years old now. Life's over. Stop telling yourself all these negative things because you still have, if you're still watching this video, you still have time left. So change those words around. Be grateful for everything that you have. Be grateful for what little things you can think of that actually bring you happiness. Think about the experiences you've had that are great memories, but don't do any more of that negative self-talk. I mean, we're human. It's going to happen. But when you realize that you're in this kind of rabbit hole of negativity, get yourself out of it as soon as you can and start thinking about positive things for yourself. It's just our brain is what governs everything we do. And if we're thinking like that, inevitable that our body will start to feel yucky too. So let's change all that negative self-talk to something a bit more positive so that we will physically feel better. Stop living in the past. I have a habit of ruminating on things that I've done wrong, and I just can't get that out of my head sometimes. And those things do nothing for us but bring us down. Whether it's looking in the past at how things used to be, whether it's something you kind of screwed up on and did wrong, whether it's you wish you were back at that stage again, all that stuff, those are good to look back and remember, but don't focus on them as this is now the end. We have to keep in our mind that there's still a lot of life left and we have to enjoy it. So we got to make a good future for ourselves, a better future, or at least a happier one for ourselves. So don't dwell on the past, whether it's how things used to be or mistakes you've made. It's time to move on because those things will just bring you down. They're not making you happy. Life will suck if you keep doing that. Another big habit that you need to ditch, especially if you're over 50, is stop being afraid of change. We are never too old. Sure, things may take a little bit longer for us to work through, but that's okay. That's good for our brain. The more we have to learn causes new neuroreceptors to start sparking and new pathways to start forming. So it's important to embrace change. Don't be afraid, whether it's changing hairstyle, whether it's changing how you dress, whether it's moving, whether it's living in a different area, sometimes a different job at this stage. Whatever it is, don't be afraid of change. It may be a little bit harder, but that's okay. It helps you have a more exciting and vibrant life. And stop being afraid of technology. Not all of us have to be computer scientists. That's okay. But we should embrace all the technology that's out there because a lot of it is really good. It can help with our health. It can help with organizing our time. It can just keep us on track on so many different things. It can help us communicate with loved ones. I remember the days when I was in Canada and all my family was back in Finland. I was only 17, 18 years old, and I had to write letters because I couldn't afford the long distance phone calls because they cost so much. And the letters would come every 2-3 weeks. And now I can do video calls and talk to anybody in the world. It's amazing. So we have to embrace technology, take the time to learn it, take courses if you need to, ask a family member. I know that can be hard sometimes because they get annoyed with you, but learn how to use the technology. You can be here on YouTube learning so much information. So I think it only will help to enhance our lives, really. So I really suggest that everybody embrace the technology that might be useful to them. But if it's something that could help you, definitely try. It's fun. I've had to do a lot of that, making these videos, having to learn how to use a camera and these mics and editing. It's turned out I really enjoy it. I would never have known that. I would never have guessed that I would have enjoyed this kind of thing. These habits that you should drop seem simple, but they have a really big impact on your overall well-being. If you're ready to ditch these habits and make lasting change, I've created a checklist for you that you can grab in the description below. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about about progress, you'll set yourself up for a more fulfilling and vibrant future. By letting go of these habits and embracing a more healthier and mindful lifestyle, share in the comments what habits you're ready to ditch first. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!